Peace, everybody. Back with another video. This is Helming introduces bill that would strip governors' new powers, and this is from May 8th, 2020, and it was done at 1:33 p.m. It's about time that the governor's new powers do get stripped, and it's about time that Andrew Cuomo will no longer have his powers because this bill is being introduced by Helming because Andrew Cuomo has abused his powers long enough and it's time for him to go. State Senator Pam Helming and Assemblyman David DiPietro today announced that they are introducing legislation to repeal new powers granted earlier this year to Governor Cuomo. Under S. 7919, the governor of New York was given the power to take virtually any action he deems necessary when there is a declared emergency. This measure gives him the ability to make changes and enact legislation without consulting the state legislature, holding hearings, or providing opportunities for public input. He may declare an emergency in virtually any circumstances. So he did not consult with the state legislator, holding hearings, or anybody else. He's just doing whatever he wants to do. Well, not this time, because he violated under S7919. Of course, Senator Pam Helming and Assemblyman David DiPietro had announced that they are introducing legislation to repeal new powers granted earlier this year to Governor Cuomo. So they want to strip him of his powers totally. They don't want him doing what he's been doing, keep extending the lockdown month after month. That was not the right thing for him to do. It was wrong for him to do. He kept extending the lockdown, and that's against the Constitution, what he's doing. He's evil. He needs to be kicked out of office. He needs to be kicked to prison with Bill Gates because he decided to hook up with Bill Gates to take over children's classrooms, and we know where that's going to go. He's not allowed to be telling people what to do. He's not allowed to give orders to the patriots whatsoever. Since the beginning of the C-19 virus pandemic in 55 days, the governor has unilaterally enacted or changed 262 laws. So he changed a whole bunch of laws. That was a big no-no on his end. He has gotten away with everything too much lately, and so he changed 262 laws. Really, he's not allowed to do that. It's against the Constitution, like I said. What he has done is totally evil. No governor, Democrat or Republican, should have the ability to make hundreds of unilateral decisions without input from or votes in the state legislature. In times of crisis, decisions must often be made quickly, but they should not be made in a way that undermines the foundation of our democracy and the system of checks and balances. This is something that should concern all of us, regardless of partisan politics. State legislators are elected by their constituents to represent them. People do not solely vote for a governor. The state legislature and executive were created to work together for a reason. The state and assembly cannot abdicate or our role in government as legislators and simply leave the difficult decisions to the governor. I believe that it is our job to listen to our constitutions, research the issues, vote, and be wholly accountable to the people we represent. Senator Helming. Yes, so you can hold the governor accountable for all these laws that he was not supposed to change. Even your governors, you can hold them accountable. You're allowed to. They are not allowed to change all these laws around. It's not the right thing to do. And what Andrew Cuomo has done was change every single thing that goes against the Patriots. He's not supposed to be doing that, but he's been undermining undermining us Patriots for a long time. But they should not be made in a way that undermines the foundation of our democracy and the system of checks and balances. So he has no right to question you about anything. He has no right to question you about your jobs or whatever. He has no right of doing that. This is something that should concern all of us, regardless of partisan politics. State legislators are elected by their constituents to represent them. People do not solely vote for a governor. So they do not vote solely for a governor, but what Andrew Cuomo has done was totally wrong. Um, he thought he was above the law, but he's not above the law. He's below the law. He doesn't care about American citizens. He doesn't care about nothing except for money and power. That's all he cares about. Um, when he decided to get together with Bill Gates to control the children's classroom, I was like, no, this is wrong. He has to go to prison. Bill Gates has to go to prison too. And already, Italy is already calling for Bill Gates' arrest. They want him arrested. Now, with Governor Cuomo, he can be arrested for changing 262 laws that he should have never done, and for him to keep extending the lockdown when it had ended May 15th. He should have never extended to May 28th. Then all of a sudden it goes to June 13th. I mean, what kind of man is this? He's not above the law. He's all the way to the ground. He's a peasant. He's nobody. Governor Cuomo has overstepped, suspended, and frankly taken advantage of our executive authority in the wake of the C-19 virus crisis. Petro said, "We have legislative, executive, and judicial branches to balance and check each other. This governor will do anything and everything to extend his power and control over the other branches, which is unjust and simply un-American. We have to step up and do our duty as legislators to limit this as best we can. We cannot disregard our role and duty to the people of New York." Yes, so Governor Cuomo has overstepped his boundaries. And this is why people need to put him in check. You could sue him. Yes, he's already been sued. You could keep suing. He could keep getting sued. He's not safe from being sued. He has to cough up the money because he's rich and he's got a lot of money. And I know some of you, oh, well, he's broke. No, he's not broke. He's a rich governor. So you can sue him. And like I said, Governor Cuomo has overstepped, suspended, and frankly taken advantage of his executive authority in the wake of the C-19 virus crisis. And this is what Petro said. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but That person said, we have legislative, executive, and judicial branches to balance and check each other. So that means you are your own governor. Andrew Cuomo is nobody. He's a peasant. He does not have the right to do whatever he wants to do to you. He has overstepped his boundaries um, to keep everybody locked up in the house. Also, it says the governor will do anything and everything to extend his power and control over the other branches, which is unjust. So you could get him for unjust by him extending the lockdown, and simply un-American. And he's definitely un-American. We have to step up and do our duty as legislators to limit this as best as we can. We cannot disregard our role and duty to the people of New York. Yeah, because the people of New York don't deserve this. We don't deserve any of this mess that he's doing. We're his victims. And what he has done to us is totally un-American and unjust. He has no right to change anything. This is why he's going to do everything he can to keep everybody locked down, like I said. And then what's going to happen? What's going to happen after that? People are getting fed up with him as it is, and this is why people are rallying against him. People want to go to work, but with the economy spiraling down a lot worse before it gets better, Andrew Cuomo thinks, oh, he's everything, but he's not. He is nowhere above the law. He's a peasant, and he lives in hell, where he should be going. Will actually go to prison with Bill Gates for allowing Bill Gates taking control of children's classrooms. So that's another thing. But he is totally evil, and he needs to be kicked out of office and into prison. Now, I know there are some truther channels floating around. I think I heard one saying that Andrew Cuomo is wearing an ankle bracelet, so he might be house arrest, because there is a chance he's going to go to jail anyway, so it doesn't matter. But all this stuff that he's doing is a big no-no. Leave your comments below. I am out.